Hey everyone, this is Ryan B with Practical Forex Trading. This is your weekly analysis for the Dow Jones Dow30 DJIA. The date is May 3rd, 2020. If you want to stay up to date with all of our weekly videos, make sure you click that red subscribe button. Okay, so this is a weekly candlestick chart for the Dow Jones. I mean, this is an index, it's not its own singular entity. But it still moves on some sort of technical framework, as we see here. So I'm looking at this trend line represents since 2008, 2009 crash, touching the low points of the trend. We've got a few touches here, the recent breakout below, and then quick boost back above was a confirmation of that long multi-year ascending trend line. So my sentiment, as you can see here, is long-term bullish. I do believe the stock market will see 30,000 someday, but not this week or not anytime soon. Okay, so my sentiment short term is bearish. I think we're going to see prices potentially coast back down to the 22,000 index area, those numbers. So the reason why is we look at these candlesticks. So last week we talked about we had this bearish candlestick that kind of moved away once it hit this short-term resistance at 24.5. Let's go ahead and map that out. And then last week's candle pushed above its 25,000, rejected, big sell-off, which pushes prices back into this zone, if you will. So now we're in sideways land. Price is still well below the fast-moving average. So as this, there's a couple ways that price catches up with moving average. One is it goes the opposite direction. Two is it just goes sideways until average catches up with it. And I think that's what's going to happen here. So potential short-term, Dow dips back down 22,000. We lose a couple thousand points. There's typically some sort of, what was it? Interweek movements have been larger and larger now. So we think about percentages of change. They've been pretty volatile the last few weeks. As we get into the sideways range, we should see that volatility start to compress, and we'll see our daily ranges shorten as well. So it could be a short trip down to 22,000. It could take a couple weeks. Let's go ahead in the daily. Here we see, though, that price still is moving above the fast daily moving average. So we're going to get a little bit of a wedge and then breakout, right? So if we think about trend theory, this very tiny trend, it's trying to kick up and keep going. What it has to do now is close back above 24.5. Otherwise, this resistance holds and price goes into this long-term sideways action. So what I want to see now is that a couple days of bullish action on the Dow this week. That would keep this short-term trend line going. If we look at it at the 4-hour, kind of like your micro daily, okay. Let's go ahead and take our volume off. So this is our short-term rebound we saw after the big sell-off. Let's see if it's going to hold. So if we think about it from a trend, this sort of trend angle, it looks like it's still pretty valid. Looks like, more potential buying. But this is the short-term trend in the bigger picture. So in order for this to hold, we need to see this ascending price wedge hold. Let's go ahead and put our ascending price wedge triangle. So you'll see price, these candlesticks over time, typically move in a geometric pattern, the most, specifically triangles. So now we see price stuck here in this triangle. As long as the price stays within the triangle and then moves above 24.5, I'm bullish. If we see price drop below 22.8, that pushes us out of the triangle to test 22,000. And at that point, we'd need to see another volatile kick up like we did before. So we've got short-term support here at 23.2 area. If we mark that out, there we go. Or price comes down for a dip, and that's our dip down to the 23. And then we want to see the market pivot and have its next big instance of buying. If price erodes and starts to slip through here off of massive sell-offs, then we'll go ahead and start retesting our last lows. So this week, some short-term action, but it should be pretty exciting. Might be a good buying opportunity. All right, everyone. Have a great week. I hope you make lots of cash. Take it easy.